What it do, what it does, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be going over with you some of the shooting badges over in NBA 2K23. I know a lot of people have questions about which badges are good, which badges are not good. And guess what? I got you. So just make sure before we get into this, you leave a like, comment about your favorite parts of the video. If you have any questions, if you want to know my opinion on what I think about any other badges in any other categories, feel free to drop that in the comment section. Also, make sure you subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now we're in the shooting section. All right, so the first badge we got is called Amped. It says reduces the penalty that fatigue has on a player and their ability to make shots. All right, everybody, this is what I say is the most underrated badge in the shooting category. This badge is so good. We could equate this badge to what tireless scorer or tireless shooter used to be in the older NBA 2K titles. And I think it was NBA 2K19 was the last time we saw tireless scorer but basically what it did was it reduces the effect of when you're tired and how that affected your jump shooter. As we know in NBA 2K23, stamina has a larger impact of your shooting and your shooting abilities. So it makes sense to want to mitigate as much as possible the effects that your fatigue has on your player. And if you're a shooter like me, this is especially important. I'll tell you right now, this is an underrated badge. I would recommend putting this as high as you can get it on straight perp. Putting it on perp is the way to go. It'll keep you consistent with your catches, your animations for shooting. And I think for every shooter, we understand that consistency is king, right? Next, we got the badge Claymore. It says increases the ability to knock down perimeter shots when spotting up patiently. Now, this is a good badge. The important thing about this badge is it really depends on your play style. If you're the type of player who is a spot up, if you are the one sitting in the corner or sitting at the hash, this is a great badge for you. At tier 1, you can get a lot of value for this badge. So it does not hurt to put this at perp or to put it at gold. All right, either perp or gold if you're a spot up. However, if you are a point guard, there is no reason why you should be having this badge. When you're selecting your badges, don't pick a badge just because it's good. You want to select the badge that fits your play style while being good at the same time, okay? So Claymore is a top tier badge, tier 0 badge if you would, if you're a spot up shooter. And if you're a playmaker, if you're a ball handler, this should not be on your build. Next, we have Clutch Shooter. Now, Clutch Shooter is a good badge. It's a solid badge. It does what it says that it's supposed to do. It says shot attempts that occur during the final moments of the fourth quarter or in any overtime period receive a large boost. And yes, it does receive a boost. It makes your green window open up more, and it's a good badge to have. Now, for this particular badge, this is one of the badges that you want to get value for. This is a bang for your buck type of badge. I would recommend putting this badge on bronze. Whether you're a spot up shooter or a point guard, it is very important. Actually, if you're a spot up shooter, I would say bronze is good. If you're a main ball handler or the main option on your team for scoring, I would say put it on silver. But outside of that, I wouldn't put it any higher than that. I think that's a bit overkill. All right, now Comeback Kid. It's more the same as Clutch Shooter that we talked about previously. It says boost the shooter's mid-range and three-point abilities when trailing in a game. Now, if you're the type of player who is not trailing that often, this badge would not be that important to you. And me personally, I got a winner's mentality, so I'm thinking that, look, I'm gonna be ahead regardless. I'm always gonna be ahead. So anything more than bronze is just unreasonable. It's out of the question. You thinking like a loser, and we not losers over here on this channel. All we do is get dubs. You understand me? Next is the badge Guard Up. Now, this badge I think is probably the best badge that you can get in this tier 1 section right here that I have. Guard Up. It says increases the ability to make jump shots when defenders fail to properly contest. Now, what this does is if your opponents are not playing solid defense, it punishes your opponents for poor defense. This badge needs to go as high as it possibly can. Whether you're a ball handler, whether you're a spot up, this badge needs to be on your player as high as you can get it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, no questions asked. We moving on to the next one. All right, following that up, we got Midi Magician. It says boost the effectiveness of pull-ups, spin shots, and fadeaways from the mid-range area. Now, this is a really good badge for all my shot creators. If you're a shot creator who loves the spin move, loves the step back, loves the pull-ups from the midi, hit the triple threat, take that quick burst by your defender, pull up J, this is your badge. Now, if you're just a spot up guy, you should not have this badge. This badge has no use in your life. But however, if you are a shot creator, I would recommend putting this on gold or Hall of Fame, depending on your frequency, because there's different types of shot creators. We got shot creators that prefer finishing at the rim. We got shot creators who prefer the mid-range jumper, and we got shot creators who prefer shooting the three. So if you're either the like to finish inside, or if you like to pull up from three a lot, then I would recommend putting this on gold. But if you primarily shoot that mid-range midi, guess what? Perp all the way. Put that thing on perp. This is a great badge. The next badge we got is Slippery Off Ball. Now this badge, if you're a shooter, this badge really is not that good. It's really not that great. But what I will say is, if you are a build who gets shooting badge points, let's say if you're a pick and roller, this helps you weave through traffic. It says when attempting to get open off screens, the player more effectively navigates through traffic. And I mean, he does. He doesn't get grabbed and held while moving around the court by the opposing player. But this is not really a good badge. There's no reason to put this any higher than bronze, even if you just want to. It really isn't a good badge. Spend your badge points elsewhere. But I recommend that you just do not use this badge. All right, now we got Volume Shooter. Now Volume Shooter is an interesting badge because it's really good in some situations and it's really bad in other situations. I tend to notice that this badge here tends to give people some sort of mental boost to think that they have the green light to shoot any old kind of crazy wacky shot because they have Volume Shooter on Hall of Fame. Listen, that's not what we do over here. We shoot open shots, we get the greens. We're not trying to shoot contested crazy shots just because we have Volume Shooter. We don't do that. This badge is good. It's a good badge. It works. It does what it says it's supposed to do. It says after a player's taken a small handful of shots, an additional boost to shot attributes is given for each subsequent shot, whether it's a make or a miss. So that means this badge activates whether you make or miss the shot. But my thought process is this: why would you purposely miss a shot just because you have Volume Shooter on perp? It doesn't make sense to me. This badge right here, I would say that this badge is good on bronze in all game modes, but if you're playing My Career, it needs to be Hall of Fame. If you're playing My Career, it needs to be Hall of Fame. Cause come on, think about it. You're playing on My Career, you're taking the majority of the shots. You want to get the most bang for your buck. Outside of My Career, you need to take this off perp and put it on wood, put it on bronze, either bronze or nothing. Now we move into the tier 2. We got Catch and Shoot. Catch and Shoot is a fantastic badge. It is a staple in 2K. It's always been a reliable badge. It's worked really, really well. And this badge right here, if you are a spot up shooter, there is no reason to put it on anything but the highest that you can get. That's right, it needs to be perp. It needs to be perp, straight perp. Now, if you are a point guard or a primary ball handler, there's no reason to have this badge on at all, unless you have a center who likes to kick the ball out. And you point guards, I know you point guards know what I'm talking about. So for you point guards out there that as soon as the ball leaves your hands, you know you're never getting it back, make sure you do not equip this Catch and Shoot badge, because as soon as you pass it, you know you're not getting the ball back. You know no one's kicking it back out to you. Don't even equip this badge. However, if you're playing with a big man who understands to get the board and kick the ball out to open three-point shooters, then put this badge on bronze, because those are the times where you're going to be getting a lot of open shots from three, and you need to knock those open shots down, and this will help you do that. Corner Specialist. All right, so Corner Specialist is a bit of the same. If you are a spot-up shooter, it's good to have this badge. You need to have this badge if you're a spot-up shooter. However, this is one of those badges that's a little overkill, because you can add those badge points in other areas. If you are a spot-up shooter, I would say put this badge on gold. Hall of Fame is a bit overkill, but put it on gold and you will be good to go and solid. If you are a main ball handler or a point guard, bronze is good enough, and that's pushing it a little bit. You kind of don't need this badge. There are other badges that is more useful and more effective for your badge point if you are a main ball handler. But if you are a spot up, it needs to be on silver or gold. Make sure you choose one of these if you're a spot up player. Again, I will say this again, make sure you select badges based on the playstyle that your player currently has in connection with your actual playstyle as the player on the sticks. Next, we got Green Machine. So Green Machine is a great badge too. Green Machine works really well. It's also one of those badges that you want to get good value for. This is where I would spend my excess badges. So if I have all the badges that I need that is essential to my build and I got a few extra, I would look to Green Machine to put it on here. So Green Machine says it gives an additional shot boost when consecutively achieving excellent releases on jump shots. So it means exactly what it says. If you green once and then green again, that's a consecutive green release. You're going to get a boost for the rest of your shots as long as you continuously are greening. So understand that if you naturally are a good shooter and you have good timing, you're going to get the most benefit from this badge. However, if you understand you're a streaky shooter, you should not value this badge as much. And this is where like understanding your play style and being honest with yourself comes into play. All right, so who should have this badge? I believe that every build should have this badge. There should be no build with this badge higher than silver, because this is one of those badges where gold and Hall of Fame is a bit overkill, because for 6 badge points, if you miss time one jump shot, all 6 of those badge points are wasted on your next shots until you hit another consecutive green release. So I would mitigate my damage in the event that I do not get a green release, and I would put it on bronze and rock out. All right, Space Creator. We got Space Creator here. This is a great badge. If you're a mid-range specialist, if you like doing snatchbacks, if you like doing hop steps, if you like doing hop jumpers, spin jumpers, pull-ups, all of that shot creator stuff, if you like doing that, then this is the badge for you, because this helps you hit those shots. It helps you create more space from your defender when you do these types of moves. And I would recommend that if you're the main ball handler and this is your main play style, there's no reason why you should not have it on Hall of Fame or on gold, because this helps you create the space. And when you create the space and you're open, it increases the likelihood of you greening that J. So make sure you put this badge on as high as you can get if it fits within your playstyle. Make sure you're understanding what kind of playstyle you have before you equip these badges. I'll say it over and over again. And now we're at the meat and potatoes with these badges. We at the tier 3. First off is Agent 3. It says improves the ability to make pull-up spin shots from the 3-point range. This is your midi magician from 3. If you like fading from 3, spin shotting from 3, hop jumpers from 3, this is the badge that you need. This is a really good badge. I know a lot of people are talking about how overpowered this badge is and how really strong it is. It is a really good badge. Now, this is the piece that I want you guys to understand. It's a really good badge, but if this does not fit in your playstyle or in your character's playstyle, do not equip this badge. If you don't fade from 3 often enough, do not equip this badge. You equip this badge if it suits your playstyle and get it as high as you can get it. You understand me? Make it one of your cores if it fits your playstyle. Now we're on to Blinders. Blinders is a fantastic badge. It's so good. What it says is jump shots taken with the defender closing out in their peripheral vision will suffer a lower penalty. This means if a defender is closing out on you as the jump shooter from a 45-degree angle on either your right or your left side, it will reduce the impact that shot contest has on your jump shot. Do you understand how powerful that is? Especially if you just created space from your defender, or if you catch the ball wide open and someone's closing out on you from an angle. This right here is a top tier badge. Every jump shooter or every shooter should have this badge as high as you can get it, and it's top tier, tier 0, I would say. And now we're on to Deadeye. Deadeye says jump shots taken when the defender's closing out receive less of a penalty from jump shot contests. Now, I understand that we just talked about Blinders and we talked about how it mitigates the impact of a shot contest if they're closing out from your peripheral vision, right? Deadeye, what it does is it does the same thing as Blinders, but it does it from directly in front of the jump shooter. This badge right here is a good badge as well. However, I do not value this badge as much as I value Blinders. And here's why. If you're taking a shot with a defender that's super close to you directly in front of you, you shouldn't be taking that shot to begin with. Your shots that you're taking you should have a clear view of the basket. If you're gonna use this badge, and you're gonna put it all the way at gold or Hall of Fame if you can get it, make it your core badge. That's all fine and good, but make sure you're paying attention to your playstyle. If you're taking jump shots that are questionable or contested, then you may value this Deadeye badge a lot. But for me, I'm just a shooter. Don't mind me, I'm just a shooter. I like to take my jump shots when I'm wide open, so this badge I don't value as much. At the very most, you might find me having it on bronze, but outside of that, I understand that I'm a jump shooter who takes shots with no one directly in front of me. But if you like taking those contested shots, this is the badge for you. This will help you out a lot. And last but not least, last and certainly not least, we got Lemonon, Limitless Range. It says extends the range from which a player can shoot 3-pointers effectively from deep. This badge has and will always be a fantastic tier 0 badge. This needs to be on any and every spot up jump shooter build. It needs to be on. It needs to be on. If you're spotting up at the hash, if you're a hash player at from any level to any degree, you need this as high as you can get it. It will extend that range. It would allow you to be a deadly threat from well beyond the 3-point line. It stretches out the defense. It gives defense fits. This is the badge for you. Now, if you are a ball handler, a primary ball handler, well, this badge can be good for you as well, but you don't necessarily need it on this degree. To this degree, you can save yourself some badge points by putting it on bronze or putting it on silver. But if you're a spot up, I highly recommend that you put this badge on the highest that you can get it. All right, so that'll be all for the shooting badges. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have any other questions. I'll probably will be doing playmaking, defensive rebounding, and finishing, talking about the badges in each category and what I believe that you should select based on your play style. Make sure you come back to the channel for the next video, and let's try to get this video right here up to, let's say, 100 likes. I appreciate all of you guys for taking your time out to watch the video, but I mean, this is what my recommendations are for your shooting badge. But hey, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just a shooter.